My relationship with referees has always been one of respect, LeBron James was saying during an interview on a sports channel. I've never made special requests or deals with them. As the interview continued in the studio, the program producer rushed in and handed the host a note. The host's expression suddenly changed. According to information we've just received, he said with astonishment, a microphone forgotten in NBA top referee Scott Foster's locker room recorded a private conversation between him and LeBron James. When the cameras turned to LeBron, everyone could see the panic on his face. In this recording, James can be clearly heard asking the referee to favor him in the third quarter. The host added, "Welcome to the Famous Stories channel. Whatever city you're watching from, please write it in the comments below. If you're curious about unknown and never-before-heard truths, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and like our videos." NBA Network's popular program Inside the Game had started as a normal episode that morning. The studio lights were bright, cameras ready, and host Mike Turner was presenting the program in a highly professional manner. The day's guest was the living legend of modern basketball, LeBron James. "Today on our program we're hosting one of the greatest names in NBA history," said Turner with a smile. Four-time NBA champion, four-time MVP, and undisputedly the most dominant player of this generation, LeBron James. LeBron entered the studio with his characteristic confidence. Dressed in a black suit, he posed for cameras with his sports shoes and slight smile. After shaking hands with the host, he sat in the chair prepared for him. "LeBron, at this stage of your career, you've been playing in the NBA for more than 20 years and still performing at the highest level," Turner began. "What's the secret to staying at the top for so long?" James responded thoughtfully, "Discipline, work ethic, and my love for the game. I work to improve myself every day. Basketball isn't just a job for me, it's a passion." Turner wanted to dig deeper into the topic. "There's a lot of talk about your relationships with referees. Some critics claim that because you're a superstar you get special treatment from refs. What would you say about that?" LeBron laughed lightly and opened his hands. "I've heard these criticisms throughout my career, but my relationship with referees has always been one of respect. They do their job and I play my game. I've never made special requests or deals. If I want to win on the court, I have to do it with my own talent, not referee decisions." Turner nodded. "What about that frequently discussed superstar treatment? Many fans and analysts think big names like LeBron James get more fouls called in their favor on the court." "Look, this is a matter of perception," said LeBron confidently. "I make a lot of drives to the basket every game, so naturally there's a lot of contact. If you look at the statistics, the number of fouls I get compared to the shots I take is actually less than some other players. Referees are just applying the rules, that's all." As the interview continued in the studio, there was movement in the background. Program producer Jenny Williams rushed in and handed the host a small note. Turner read the note, and his expression suddenly changed. First surprise, then slight concern. "LeBron, before I ask you another question, I need to share an interesting development with our viewers," said Turner, unable to hide the excitement in his voice. LeBron leaned forward curiously. "What is it?" "According to information we've just received," said the host with astonishment, "a microphone forgotten in NBA top referee Scott Foster's locker room recorded a private conversation between you and him." Everyone in the studio looked at each other in shock. When the cameras turned to LeBron, it was clear that his expression had changed. James's usual relaxed and controlled demeanor had suddenly turned to anxiety. "In this recording," Turner continued, "you can be heard asking the referee to favor you in the third quarter. It's even reported that you promised to bring celebrities to the All-Star party in return." LeBron froze for a moment. "What? No such conversation took place," he said, but his voice didn't sound as confident as before. "Can we play this recording for our viewers?" Turner asked, looking at the producer. The producer shook her head. "We don't have the full version of the recording right now. Our source wants us to verify its authenticity first. Also, the NBA management has indicated it wouldn't be appropriate to broadcast it without an official statement on the matter." LeBron seemed slightly relieved. "If such a recording exists, I'm sure it's been taken out of context. Scott Foster is a professional referee, and I'm a professional player. There's always been respect between us." Turner wasn't ready to drop the subject. "Well, LeBron, do you have private conversations with referees before or during games?" "Of course. Every player talks to refs," said LeBron, trying to regain his composure. "The flow of the game, questions about certain plays, these are normal, but I never said things like favor me or give me fouls." Just then, the back door of the studio opened, and to everyone's surprise, Former NBA referee Tim Donaghy walked in. Donaghy had been convicted and banned from the profession in 2007 due to a betting scandal in NBA games. Since then, he had made various revelations about the NBA referee system. "Sorry for coming to the program uninvited," said Donaghy, walking into the studio, "but I have something to say about this." Turner couldn't hide his surprise. "Tim, this is an unexpected surprise. Welcome to our program. What would you like to say about these allegations concerning LeBron?" Donaghy looked directly at LeBron. "I know LeBron has had private conversations with referees because he had them with me when I was a ref." The tension in the studio suddenly multiplied. LeBron's face darkened. "This is completely false," he said firmly. "Don't believe anything Tim Donaghy says. He was kicked out of the NBA because of a betting scandal, and now he's just trying to get attention." Donaghy smiled. "Maybe so, maybe not. But I'm just telling the truth. And the truth is LeBron has established special relationships with referees throughout his career. Not just him, other superstars too. It's part of the game." Turner tried to control the situation. "Tim, can you give a specific example? A conversation between you and LeBron?" Donaghy thought for a moment. "It was 2006. I was officiating a game in Cleveland. LeBron was still very young then, but he was starting to gain fame. Before the game he approached me and said, 'Tim, I'm struggling a bit today. I'm tired. Watch out for my drives.' And in that game I called more fouls in LeBron's favor than usual." LeBron jumped to his feet. "That's completely made up. I never had any private conversation with you in 2006. You can't prove it because it never happened." Donaghy shrugged. "Of course I can't prove it. Back then cell phones didn't even have recording features. But I was there, and I know what happened." Turner pressed further. "Tim, you've mentioned that other star players also had special relationships with referees. Can you give us some examples?" Donaghy nodded. "Kobe Bryant was very good at this. He would approach referees before games with specific requests. Not obvious ones like 'give me more fouls,' but subtle ones. He'd say things like, 'My defender is holding me a lot. Keep an eye on that.' And Kevin Garnett, he was the master of intimidation. He'd get in referees' faces during games, but he'd also have friendly chats with them before tip-off." LeBron shook his head in disbelief. "This is ridiculous. Tim is trying to make it seem like the whole league is corrupt. These are baseless accusations from someone who betrayed the game." As the argument heated up, another surprise occurred in the studio. Producer Jenny Williams approached the host hurriedly and whispered something in his ear. Turner's expression changed first to surprise, then excitement. "Ladies and gentlemen," said Turner, "we have another development. Scott Foster wants to connect to our program by phone right now. He says he wants to make a statement about these allegations." As everyone looked at the screen, Scott Foster's voice echoed in the studio. "Mike, I was watching your program and heard the allegations being made," said Foster, his voice tense but controlled. "First of all, none of what Tim Donaghy is saying is true. He's trying to tarnish the NBA's reputation, and his words shouldn't be believed." Donaghy immediately interjected. "Scott, you know what I'm saying is true. Don't try to deny the relationship between referees and superstars." Foster ignored Donaghy and continued. "I also want to make a statement about the alleged conversation between LeBron James and myself. Yes, there are pre-game conversations between referees and players. This is normal, but I've never given special treatment to any player, and LeBron never asked me for such a thing." Turner asked, "Scott, did you know about an open microphone in your locker room and that a private conversation with LeBron was recorded?" Foster hesitated for a moment. "No, I didn't know about such a thing, and if such a recording exists, I wonder how and by whom it was obtained. Did such a conversation take place?" Turner insisted. Foster took a deep breath. "I remember having a private conversation with LeBron, yes, but its content was definitely not as alleged." This admission sent a shockwave through the studio. The expression on LeBron's face changed from surprise to anger. "Scott, what kind of conversation was it?" asked Turner, unable to hide his excitement. Foster began to explain. "About a month ago, before a Lakers-Nuggets game, LeBron approached me. We talked about the physicality of the game. He was particularly concerned about the Nuggets' defensive approach, but he never said things like 'favor me' or 'give me fouls.'" LeBron immediately spoke up to support Foster. "Exactly. I was just talking about how the game would be played and my expectations. This is normal communication between players and referees." Donaghy laughed. "Sure, protect each other now. But the fact is, the only purpose of such conversations is to influence the referee." LeBron asked Foster to favor him. "You can't deny that." As the argument heated up, a new development occurred in the studio. Producer Jenny handed the host another note. More incredible news, said Turner after reading the note. TMZ Sports has announced they've obtained the full recording of the conversation between Scott Foster and LeBron James and will release it in a few minutes. The tension in the studio had now become palpable. Both LeBron and Foster looked worried. Donaghy, on the other hand, was waiting with a slight smile of victory. Before TMZ releases the recording, said Turner, turning to LeBron, you have one last chance. What are we going to hear in this recording, LeBron? LeBron thought for a moment. Then, unexpectedly, he decided to speak completely openly and honestly. Look, a conversation did take place between me and Scott, yes, and maybe I should have chosen my words more carefully. But my intention was never to compromise the integrity of the game. What did you say exactly? Asked Turner. LeBron took a deep breath. I told Scott that the Nuggets' defense was very physical and that especially in the third quarter, Jokic's defense could sometimes be against the rules. I asked him to pay attention to these kinds of plays. Foster confirmed on the phone. Yes, the conversation was along those lines. LeBron was concerned about the physicality of the game and asked me to officiate fairly. Donaghy interjected again. And the All-Star Party invitation, will you explain that too? LeBron looked a bit uncomfortable. Yes, I invited Scott to the All-Star Party, but this wasn't any kind of deal related to the game. I invite many NBA employees to my events. It was just a gesture of courtesy. Just then, producer Jenny handed the host a tablet. TMZ has released the recording, she said. Here it is. Turner took the tablet and began playing the audio recording for everyone in the studio to hear. Foster, did you say something just now, LeBron? LeBron, hey Scott, can we talk for a bit? Foster, sure, what is it? LeBron, look, today's game is very important for us. You know we need to tie the series 2-2. Foster, every game is the same to me, LeBron, I'm just doing my job. LeBron, sure, I understand, but especially in the third quarter, if you could favor me a bit, if you could be careful about fouls on my drives, it would be really helpful. Foster, LeBron, you know I can't do that. LeBron, look, next month there's the All-Star Party. You know I'm organizing it. I can provide VIP access for you and your family. Would you like to be a special guest at LeBron James's party? Leonardo DiCaprio, Drake, they'll all be there. Foster, a moment of silence. We never had this conversation, okay? LeBron, of course, this stays between us. Just be a little careful in the third quarter, that's all, especially when Jokic is defending. The recording ended there. A deep silence prevailed in the studio. The cameras showed a close-up of LeBron's face. James's expression was filled with complex emotions. Surprise, concern, and perhaps the shame of being caught. LeBron broke the silence. This recording must have been edited. I never said favor me. Foster also reacted on the phone. This is definitely an edited recording. I would never allow such a conversation. Donaghy laughed with a victorious expression. Edited, you both got caught. This shows the true face of referee-player relationships in the NBA. Turner was trying to understand the situation. LeBron, is this recording real or edited? LeBron hesitated for a moment, then answered, the recording might be real, but it's definitely been taken out of context. When I said favor me, I meant fair decisions in a game played according to the rules, not special treatment for me. Just then another development occurred in the studio. Producer Jenny approached the host excitedly and provided new information. Mike, said Jenny, Brian Hampton, TMZ's editor, is on the phone. He wants to provide new information about the recording. Turner immediately approved, and Brian Hampton's voice was heard in the studio. First, I want to explain how we obtained this recording, said Hampton. It was delivered to us by an NBA employee. But there's a new development. We've done a more detailed examination of the recording and noticed that some parts may have been edited. Everyone in the studio listened carefully. LeBron sat up slightly. Hampton continued. According to our sound analysts, the part after LeBron's "if you could favor me a bit" might have been cut and combined with another sentence. The complete sentence could be, if you could favor me a bit, I mean if you could officiate the game according to the rules. This explanation changed the atmosphere in the studio. A slight relief appeared on LeBron's face. Also, Hampton continued, the All-Star Party invitation might have occurred in a completely different part of the conversation, so there might not be a direct connection between these two topics. Turner asked Hampton, so you're saying the recording has been tampered with? We can't say for certain, said Hampton, but our sound analysts indicate that some parts of the recording are suspicious, therefore we'll conduct a more detailed examination before publishing the complete recording. Donaghy immediately interjected, this is just a cover-up attempt. TMZ is backing down under pressure from the NBA. Hampton responded in a stern tone, We published the facts, Mr. Donaghy, and the fact is there are serious doubts that this recording may have been manipulated. Just as the discussion was heating up, the studio experienced yet another surprising development. Producer Jenny rushed in with a new tablet. "Mike," she said excitedly, "TMZ has just released the full unedited version of the recording, and it confirms what Mr. Hampton suggested. The audio was definitely manipulated in the first version." Turner took the tablet and played the complete recording for everyone to hear. "Foster, did you say something just now, LeBron?" "LeBron, hey Scott, can we talk for a bit?" "Foster, sure, what is it?" "LeBron, look, today's game is very important for us. You know we need to tie the series 2-2. Every game is the same to me, LeBron. I'm just doing my job. But especially in the third quarter, if you could favor me a bit. I mean, if you could officiate the game according to the rules, it would be really helpful. The Nuggets defense is very physical, and sometimes fouls can be missed. Foster, I try to evaluate all plays fairly, LeBron, but I can't give you special treatment, you know that." "LeBron, I don't want special treatment, Scott, I just want a fair game." "LeBron, by the way, next month there's the All-Star Party, you know I'm organizing it. I can provide VIP access for you and your family. Would you like to be a special guest at LeBron James's party? Leonardo DiCaprio, Drake, they'll all be there." "Foster, that's a very kind offer, LeBron, but you know as referees we can't attend social events with players. This could create a conflict of interest." "LeBron, I understand, I just wanted to offer." "LeBron, getting back to the game, just be a little careful in the third quarter, that's all. Especially when Jokic is defending, he sometimes plays very physically." "Foster, as always, I'll do my best, LeBron, it will be a fair game." When the full version of the recording ended, an atmosphere of relief formed in the studio. The complete recording clearly showed that the conversation between LeBron and Foster had been edited. LeBron's "favor me" words had been taken out of context, and the All-Star Party invitation was not connected to any deal related to the game. LeBron took a deep breath. "See? I told you, there was nothing inappropriate in this conversation. I just asked for a fair game, that's all." Foster also seemed relieved on the phone. "This is exactly as we explained. It turns out the recording was edited." Donaghy, however, wasn't ready to back down. But LeBron still asked the referee to pay special attention to him. He said, "Favor me. That's clear." Just then, NBA Commissioner Adam Silver joined the program via phone. "As the NBA, we take this recording seriously and have launched a comprehensive investigation. According to our initial examinations, there's clear evidence that the recording was manipulated. We've also launched an investigation into how a microphone was placed in Scott Foster's locker room without his knowledge." Silver added, "The NBA does not approve of any practices that violate the privacy of players or referees. We're investigating who placed a microphone in Scott Foster's locker room and why." As the program concluded, Turner asked LeBron what lessons he had learned from this incident. "First, I should always choose my words more carefully when talking to referees. Second, in today's digital age, every word can be recorded and manipulated. I've always respected the game, and I'll continue to do so." Following this incident, the NBA introduced new protocols for referee-player communications. All pre-game conversations would now be officially recorded to protect both players and referees from similar situations in the future. LeBron James went on to deliver an outstanding performance in his next game, proving once again that he lets his play do the talking. When asked about the incident in a post-game interview, he simply smiled and said, "I always do my talking on the court." Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and like this video. What do you think about this topic? Please write in the comments below. See you in the next video. Retry. Claude can make mistakes. Please double-check responses.